All right, good evening. Welcome, one and all, to a very interesting episode of the Power Hour. I'm sure that is going to be one way to describe this. I am Steve, along with Pac-Man up there in the corner. Tonight, Cactus Rack has decided to sit this one out. I believe her exact words I'm not going to say, but I will say that she was not interested in the company we were keeping this evening. It was a little more colorful, but we'll leave it at that. The spirit, and then
She's probably too busy skating around in circles.
that might be true. Also, the urban sensation, C Red, has elected to perhaps sit this episode of the show out based on recent events.
Of course.
Cards subject to change. I don't make these calls. I'm just the guy that runs the board. And then, of course, just joining us now, it is the what is it called? The inter-county champion of Rocket Pro Wrestling, Rion Skills, the real deal. That's my purse. I don't know what that means, but it's certainly festive. Rion will
keep him in the nuts.
He will keep up with the pictures tonight. And tonight our very, very special guests. That you know them, you love them, you hate them, you are jealous of them, whatever it is, the world famous, fabulous idols in the house. Joey Roth, Roxy Hart, Damian Gray, and Kevin Cade. Gentlemen and lady, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
So let's start where every great story should start. The idols. How did they come to be there, Mr. Roth? I know you are the ringmaster, the ruler, the leader, the cult leader.
You can't call me that name. I got in trouble once for that.
Okay, so how did the idols?
We're all good now.
As long as there's no litigation. How did the idols come about? How did you get so damn fabulous?
Grab your cookies and milk. It's going to be a great story.
Well, I got to tell you what, once I was approached to appear in RPW, Rocket Pro Wrestling, I figured it was time to bring fabulousness to the world of professional wrestling. And of course, with the symbols, Roxy Hart and Joey Roth, that right there is the most fabulous thing you could ever possibly want. In the beginning, I was a little naive, and we had some other long-haired blonde, definitely not as beautiful as this blonde is right here. We had another long-haired blonde that I thought actually could bring something to the world-famous fabulous idols in Rocket Pro Wrestling. I went as far as not being a part of RPW for a while, putting that one person, the blonde, not this beautiful blonde in charge, a different blonde. But then he had the wherewithal and the smarts 2 years ago today to add what is the backbone, what is the blood and the guts and the balls of the world famous fabulous idols and Kevin Cade and Damian Gray. So we've been around for a very long time. So why are we fabulous in RPW? Just because of who we are.
Well, that's
myself.
Certainly a gripping story. I'm going to pose this question to both Mr. Gray and Mr. Cade. When approached by presumably Johnny Nye, what sold you on becoming members of this group? Because it hasn't always been tea and cookies for you guys.
Well, Cade, I think you got me beat in terms of tenure as an idol by a couple of hours here. Why don't you give them the fill-in, and then I'll take over from my end.
Yeah, I can't speak for Gray, but for me, it was about the power that the fabulous idols had in Rocket Pro Wrestling. When I first joined this group, we became the most dominant faction that Rocket Pro had ever seen. And it wasn't long until we held just about every single title that this company had to offer.
That's fair.
That's why I joined.
That's accurate. I can't argue with anything you just said. Pac-Man, you can't argue with anything he just said right there. Everything they
he sure can try, though. Candy.
Well, I mean,
run his mouth
do they have any of that gold now? I'm just saying.
Pac-Man?
Don't you have Joey's belt, Steve?
Well, that it's not about Joey's belt tonight. It's not about anything but getting to know the idols.
Trying to
And
be civil here.
nothing that Kevin Cade just said is anything but factual. They were very powerful. They held a great
We're-
many titles, a
we're-
lot of prestige there.
Past
Not
tense.
exactly the way it is right now, but that's neither here nor there. So we're going to give the idols the chance to speak. We will get a chance to rebuke. So, Pac-Man, I understand where you're feeling. And you've got a lot to say, and you'll get to say all of it. But we are
Save it.
professionals. We have a job to do.
We're talking. Grown ups.
Promise you, I'll respect what you said, Steve.
Glad
Mr.
to
Gray,
see
what do you have to add?
professionalism on this podcast is really top tier. You know, I expected nothing less. Are you kidding me? I was about to talk, Patrick. All right? I was about to talk. It's Damian Gray's time, so you shut your mouth for a little bit. Let's get back to it. Steven, I must say, I genuinely am a little impressed by your professionalism here. To be honest, I didn't think you had the intellectual capacity for it, but keep impressing me. You were going to ask me something, right?
Yes, Kevin told his story about he recognized the greatness of the idols and the power, and for a great many months there was certainly prestige and power in many a title. What romanced you to join this bunch?
You know, it was kind of a long story coming. If you go out and check out my Instagram, you can see a post from when I first joined up with these fabulous men and the incredibly fabulous lady. And you can see a post dating back to 2019, where me and Joey first met when I was actually managing a young Gunna Brave at the time. And we first met. That's where the three of us first, were introduced. So I'd been established with these individuals for a little while, and Kevin Cade, as well as myself, both trained out in Davenport for a little while, so I knew the potential that was there. And when I saw that they were lined up, they actually came up to me with a bit of an idea. See, they knew who the real me was. They'd known me for a long time, and they could see that the person I was portraying, I guess, with the long hair and the purple shorts and everything like that wasn't who the real me was. So they came to me with a little bit of a confrontation. They said that they saw a bunch of potential, but they could see that I was pandering a little bit. I was changing myself, and they really made me see that these snot-nosed little morons, I'm talking to you specifically there, Pac-Man, in the crowd, and these people that I knew even from childhood that were coming to see me wrestle, that they weren't even worth the effort that I was putting out. They convinced me to be true to myself, to let my true feelings known, and more importantly, to focus that effort that I was putting into impressing these losers into actually succeeding, actually making moves that up my station a little bit. So when they came to me with a little bit of an idea, at first I resisted. I did a little bit. But then I saw what they were capable of firsthand. I was in a match against the Idols with Sean Danger as my partner. And you know what? After that match was over, I realized that what they were telling me was right. So I made a decision on the spot to join up with my old buddy Cade and to join the world famous Fabulous Idols.
See what happens is when I and Roxy, we go out and we recruit for the idols, we just want nothing but the best. We want to look inside everybody that we want to have associated with us. So we looked inside of Damian, we looked inside of Kevin, and I saw nothing but heart. Roxy Hart. I saw nothing but guts. And the best thing, and I'm going to say this, what I saw were a couple of pair of big balls. That's what I saw in Kevin Cade and Damian Gray. Two guys who are not afraid. I'm going to tell you what, man, take me out of the equation. Kevin Cade and Damian Gray can take this Fabulous Idol brand and take it all over the entire world. There's a reason why these two guys are here. Just look at them. Look what they do in the ring. Look at Kevin Cade. Just look at this guy. He's a tank. He's the juggernaut of the world famous Fabulous Idols. And Damian Gray, look how beautiful he is. Look at this guy right here. He's a smooth talker and he's a hard hitter. That's why these two guys are here.
Anyone that's part of our team, you got to believe there's a good reason for it. We don't just choose anyone.
We don't pick losers.
And these guys are living proof.
We don't pick losers. That's why two losers are no longer a part of us anymore. That's why these two guys are here. That's why they're fabulous.
Well, that is something I believe Pac-Man is calling his first time out. Remember, Pac-Man, these are our guests.
I
We've
would
welcomed
also
them
just
into our
like
house.
to interrupt him, to be fair, even it out at 1-1. So before you talk, I just want to clarify. The balls were metaphorical, just so
Yeah.
we're all on the same page.
Thank you for clearing that up. That would have been uncomfortable later. Pac-Man, you have an observation or question?
You talk about what they bring to the ring, but what
Hey, finally he sounds
They've
like
Oh, look
attacked
at
me
that. He's so
personally.
scared he froze up.
he throws up.
First chance, first time jitters there, Pat.
Pat, you froze up there and we heard none of what you were trying to say. Do you want to repeat it?
I do. You know what? I really do, because I'm going to make it real perfectly clear here. You talk about what they bring to the ring. Look what they brought to the ring. They brought me to the ring. They beat me down. They brought me to the back. They beat the shit out of me in the back.
Whoa. Hey, I know on your podcast it's okay to go blue, but there's a lady present. Watch your stinking mouth. Let's see if you could actually do this without swearing every other word.
I have a good legal team. You better watch it.
Chris Hath.
Okay. Pac-Man, you are 100% within your right to be angry based on what happened to you.
This is a civil conversation.
We are gonna
This is a civil conversation.
we're gonna
right
try
now.
to take
isn't
this.
physical. This isn't physical because we're not in the same room for this to be physical. So, Pax, if you're going to talk to us, you want to talk to us. If you have something deep down in the subconscious of your heart, go ahead and say it. But watch your language, young man. Did I just say
I
language?
gotta say, I'm
May
on board with him.
I step in
Beat him
really
up.
quickly?
A little slower this
May
time.
may I step in real quickly?
Go ahead, Rian.
All right. My apologies for kind of jumping in. Mr. Pac-Man.
Yes, Rian?
Okay, I'm just gonna just give you a quick history lesson and then go from there. I have been fighting. Well, I was fighting the idols for a long time. And they beat the shit out of me every time they got the chance. My apologies, Roxy, but I had to use that verbiage because of what was taking place. I look at it from a standpoint of what you're trying to do. You have every right to be upset, but they beat me down, and I've been trained to wrestle. I've been able to win championships in different areas. I've known Joey Roth for pretty much his entire career.
Over 20 years.
I'm just asking you to, in this environment, especially with there not being any physicality involved, this is where your intellect is going to have to come in. Don't go in there with emotion, because you're still outnumbered. Even in this environment, you are still outnumbered. You don't have JFW to back you up on this, and we don't have C-Red as well. So say what you want, but just know that these three you are dealing with four of the best in Rocket Pro, not just from a wrestling standpoint, but from a verbal standpoint. So just be on your guard. Just a heads up. Okay?
Appreciate that, Rian. Yeah, I will.
Listen to him,
Nope.
buddy. He's
Okay.
giving him good advice.
Life-saving advice there.
I think maybe a way to approach the elephant in the room. And again, I certainly want to talk about the successes of the idols. I mean, Gray and Cade were tag team champions for quite a few months, not that long ago. And I have, I've done commentary for many a year now, and I've seen tag teams come and I've seen tag teams go. And from all the wrestling that I've watched in my life, watching Cade and Gray do what they do, they remind me an awful lot of Anderson and Blanchard at times, the way they fight. I'm not placating you with compliments. I'm merely telling you what I see when I call your matches. I see the ferocity that you have. And I didn't like your reign as tag team champions personally, but
Longest ever.
professionally, it was certainly good for business at the time. So I'll give you the rub there, being a very effective tag team that I don't think is quite done in Rocket Pro. I think, you know, the final level might want to have a shot at you at some point. That would
We would love to have we would love to have a shot at them as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
that would certainly make some money, no doubt about it. But back to Pac-Man for a moment. Pac-Man's very emotional. You know, being someone that is sat behind the guardrail for a long time, he has to be wondering why him, why the attacks on him. So rather than take the avenue of a full-fledged confrontation, at least right now, perhaps this would be a time to perhaps explain a little more thoroughly what Pac-Man, one of the most passionate fans Rocket Pro has had, has now, will ever have. You know, the LIM, you know, they are the heart and soul of the fan base to a certain extent. So what about him made you single him out? Not only with that aggressive push from a few months back, but also essentially accosting him, you know, kind of holding him hostage and then throwing him around like a rag doll. I just kind of like to know what your thoughts are behind this.
Steven, have you not been paying attention to what's been going on? Like at all? I'm just curious because, you know, I know it's your job and everything to be well informed, but let's be honest, you've never been great at jobs. So what we're dealing with here was a simple case of unwarranted harassment. You're right. You are absolutely right that Pac-Man, PX, Patricia is the heart and soul of the Rocket Pro fan base, which is exactly why we hate them. All right. I mean, look at the Rocket Pro fan base. They're a bunch of slack-jawed, smelly looking, dumb, low IQ. There aren't enough bad words in the book to describe them.
Uneducated.
So yeah, being the center of that is nothing to be proud of. But on top of that, he was following me around every week.
Oh, so he was harassing you is what he's doing.
Yeah, it's pure harassment. And he would follow me around every week. There was another dumb video of him messing with one of us. On top of that, he starts this whole weird pseudo-incestuous obsession with Flash Harris, our brother, our friend, who is currently taking care of a little bit more important business than your silly little podcast. But he's been indisposed a bit. He's been dealing with this emotional distress from this weird parasocial obsession. So what sparked us to attack him? It's the opportunity to finally let loose on what we've been holding back for so long because he was just another idiot out in the crowd and we weren't allowed to pay him any attention. But you made the mistake of coming out with Chet. You had to sign a waiver. You had to be listed as an actual roster and crew member of Rocket Pro Wrestling. So the second you did that, well, I knew it was just a matter of time. And I tried to warn you. I kept telling you to back off. We kept telling you to cool it and to leave us alone. And you still keep on refusing. So you want to know why this is happening to you? It's because you brought it upon yourself. And I don't want to see you try to shift the blame onto any other person. This is all because of you.
It was the obsession that PAX has against us that we finally had to go and say, enough's enough. He has been badgering, harassing, borderline obsessing over anything that Damian Gray has done. This guy even dressed as Damian Gray for Halloween. What does that tell you? We were afraid of our lives. I did not like coming home to the Roth compound and making sure Pax wasn't sitting there in the bushes trying to find out and try to get a gander of her changing before she went to bed or taking a shower. I did not need Pax to go ahead and look in my window to see what's going on when I'm brushing my beautiful teeth, or looking at Kevin Cade when he's working out, punching those big punching bags, those big heavy pound, 250-pound sandbags that he throws around like they were nothing. That's what we were doing. We are afraid of what's going on with the obsession that LIM has with the world famous Fabulous Idols. And if anybody knows anything about obsessions, we know you're going to have to take care of it yourself because nobody else is going to help you. We are in fear of what's going to happen because of the obsessive disorder that this company of LIM boys has against us.
Well, that was some explanation from Damian Gray and Joey Roth. Kevin Cade, before I let Pac-Man retort, do you have anything to add to what has been said?
Yeah, I do. I just want to clarify. The fear that Joey is talking about is not a fear of Pat himself.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, Pat, between getting dragged into that ring and stepping through those ropes as an active competitor. You have no idea what kind of lion's den you've stepped into. We are going to tear you apart limb by limb and enjoy every second of it.
Okay.
Take that Johnny Nye, and we're gonna take that Johnny Nye and that chum C-Red along for the ride with you because they want to stick their noses in our business. You know, it's okay that Johnny Nye doesn't want to be an idol anymore, but he wants to go ahead and run his mouth against all of us. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna shut that mouth. And then C-Red, oh C-Red, Betty, I wish you were here to talk to us, but I guess we know why you're not here. You know, not only maybe we should call you C Yellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand what's happening here. We need to take a step back in the interest of professional. We're going to keep this very even.
Never take a step back. All we do is take steps forward, ever forward. That's what we do. We don't dwell in the past like everybody else. Us four, the future is where it's at.
And it can only get brighter, no doubt about that.
Understood. Very, very well put. We're going to give Pac-Man a chance to respond to everything that's been said. He sat there quietly and let you speak. All I do is request that you give him the same forum. Pac-Man?
You to sit there quietly.
So you want to go and say that I've been following you around everywhere. But the thing is, I've been following you at Rocket Pro. I've been at Rocket Pro shows. I go to watch wrestling. I go to IPW. I go to watch wrestling. I go to support Turtle. I go to support Daddy Andy. I go to support Gunner Brave. I go to support Steve and Shelly, the VHS of Rocket Pro Wrestling, who just so happen to have your titles. What my point is I'm a wrestling fan and I am a staff member at Rocket Pro as well. I do have a waiver. I can't dispute that. But I love professional wrestling. I love watching stories unfold. I don't love being dragged into the ring. I love being part of things. But for the past 3 months, y'all have really crossed such a line. And if you take me down, who is to stop you from going after other fans that you claim follow you around, even though they're also going to wrestling shows? I mean, Damian, I know we had that little run-in at Hollywood Boulevard back in March.
Yeah, you attempted to steal one of our belts.
I was just showing it off because I really like the tag team titles.
Attempted theft. That's another crime that we should add to the list.
Oh, by the way, Damian, can we see the tag team championship belt? Do you have that on you right now?
You know, it seems like you really like to rub that little fact in when you forget to mention that we are currently the longest reigning Rocket Pro Wrestling tag team champions in history. And that those dumb, mangy little mutts that took the belt off us went on to have the shortest reign in Rocket Pro Wrestling history. And now they're at each other's throats. So,
might I add, Greg,
yeah,
that
there was one time we lost a little bit. We did. We lost a match because Johnny Nye was inferior, and he cost us those belts. But guess what? we leave a lasting legacy. And that's something that you will never do. The most you can hope for at this point is to be a smear under our boot and a footnote on the legacy that is the Idols.
Very well said, Gray. That's exactly what I was going to say,
please.
is that if it wasn't for that trench coat traitor, Johnny Nye, if you and I had been defending those tag team titles, we would still have them in the Idols inventory to this day. And it's only a matter of time until we bring those back.
Absolutely, and that is without a doubt.
See, Pax, I'll give you. I'm going to give you a little bit of praise. Yeah, you love professional wrestling. So do we. That's why we do it. That's why we're here. That's why in February I'm going to celebrate 21 years of doing this. We all love what we do, but you do not respect what we do. And now you got yourself in a little bit of trouble, don't you? Don't you, Pax? What kind of trouble did you just get yourself into this past Saturday? Huh? Tell everybody.
I mean, you guys kidnapped me, took me to the back, beat me up.
There's a photograph right on display right now of
I was
some of
choked
that
out by your
insane
boa. My
footage.
glasses were almost broken.
What happened?
Oh, I thought I got those glasses when I smashed them. Almost broken in good enough. I'm sorry. I'll do better next time.
And what happened at the end of that? What did Damian Saint have to say? I'm feeding you this so you can go ahead and brag about it. Maybe we're supposed to talk about this later, but I think we need to talk about this now. What's going to happen on December 2nd, Pax? What's going to happen?
On December 2nd, what's going to happen, Joey, since you're asking, is I have an opportunity to stand up for the fans of Rocket Pro Wrestling to make a point that it is a mistake to drag the fans into the crowd. You messed up. You messed around. And because I have Johnny and C-Red in my corner, you're going to find out what the consequences are.
We didn't mess up anything. Damien, go ahead.
I'm shaking in my boots, aren't you? That was so scary. Listen, buddy, we didn't drag you into anything. Weren't you listening? You brought this on yourself. You volunteered to become a part of the staff. You chose to continue to harass and follow and pursue us. And you would do it all for the sake of making content for your stupid little fan group. Fact of the matter is, buddy, there's no half measures. Once you enter this crazy little world of ours, you're either all in or you're all out. You made the decision to be all in. We warned you about the consequences, and now Red and Johnny got to get hurt because you decided you didn't want to grow up and wanted to just keep being a smart-mouthed little kid, thinking that you were immune because you were out in the crowd. Well, you messed up. So we may have physically dragged you in only after you continue to degrade, insult, slander the good names that is the world-famous Fabulous Idols. And you continued to do it, thinking you were immune. And that look on your face, no matter what happens, that look on your face when you realize that you were in danger would make anything worth it.
Hey, what did it get you? Huh? What's going to happen December 2nd? You didn't say. There's a match, right? The world famous Fabulous Idols of Kevin Cade, Damian Gray, and myself, Joey Roth, against Johnny Nye, the rock star, C-Red, and you. A no disqualification 6-man tag team title match with Roxy Hart in our corner. Do you not understand what you just had? What happened?
I do.
No, shut up. Do you not understand what's going to happen? You think this is nothing but a joke. You sit there on your podcast with those other idiots thinking what we do is a joke. There's going to be no laughing when we get you into the ring on December 2nd. It's a no disqualification match. Do you know what that means, Pax? Kevin, do you know what that means?
That means there's no rules, essentially.
Right. That means Damian Gray could take that baseball bat and make it very familiar with a lot of parts of your body. That means Kevin Cade, who doesn't need a weapon. All he needs are these two fists. What he could do right there is get you down on the mat and just punch you in the face over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until you have no eyesight, till you have no body, no face, no nothing. He doesn't need a weapon. Look at that man. Look at him right now. That's the beast that holds us all together. You know what I could do in a no disqualification match? I'm going to take these two hands and I'm going to wrap them around your throat and I'm going to choke you. I'm going to choke you till those eyes pop out of your head, and then your stupid brother can take a stick and shove him back in.
All right.
Shut up.
No.
You think we're a joke? You think this wrestling is a joke? You think we're a joke? We're going to show you that we're not going to be laughing on December 2nd.
I feel like, I mean, things were going fine. We were starting to chip away at the truth maybe a little bit.
Chip away at what truth, Steve?
Well, why this whole situation is happening.
Are you a therapist, Steve? Because we don't need a therapist here. We need someone who can run his own show.
It's happening because Pax and all the other lovely intoxicated men, or whatever you want to call them, think we're a joke. Think we're here to go, ha ha, look at us, all gaga and fun. No, it's not going to be fun. You're in trouble, little man. You are in trouble. You're messing with men. We're not little boys. We're not hiding behind some microphone in your mother's basement with swearing every other word because it's cool. Drinking your old style or your Schlitz or whatever the crap you drink. You are messing with men right now. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Don't look down. You look at us. You wanted this. You got it. You want to go ahead and harass us, you're going to find out it's a hell of a lot easier to jump on than it is to jump off, because now you've done it. Yeah, no disqualification. I'm sorry, I know I come by and I'm having a good old time everywhere I go. But you think we're a joke. We're going to show everybody, and everybody else who's watching this right now, it's not going to be Pax just sitting on the apron going, oh, I'm going to take the hot tag, and then I'm going to come on in at the end of the match and blah, 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 do nothing. Nah. You and me, we're starting this match. It's going to be me and you. You're not going to hide behind C Red and or C Yellow and Johnny Nye. You're not going to hide behind them. It's going to be you and me who starts it off.
Okay.
And then we're going to see what happens from there.
All right.
Show you what kind of joke this really is.
I don't feel like we need to go down that road. I mean, you've made your point. It's very clear.
Go down that road.
God, I would not want to be on the other side of
Let's
that.
get on with the show.
We're going to get on with absolutely. Pac-Man, I tried to keep this as civil as I could. I really thought we had a chance to have some nice dialogue.
It's just kind of hard just looking at him and look how smart he is, and trying to think he's going to get one over on us. Sorry guys if I'm chime in anytime, because this guy right here, I don't know, I'm just getting sick and tired of I'm just sick and tired of looking at you with the signs and all your little chants, thinking there's no repercussions, thinking that we're a joke. We ain't a joke. Just ask everybody else in RPW.
Oh, I wouldn't have dreamed of interrupting that, Joey. That was a work of art.
Thank you.
Pac-Man, you've heard the idols talk. You've heard the posturing of Joey saying you're going to start this match, and I was not aware of that. I knew it was a no disqualification match. General Manager Damian Saint said so. So now that's an interesting question to you, Pat. You're going to be front and center in that ring, one-on-one, toe-to-toe against Joey Roth, one of the most evil, conniving people that has ever laced up a pair of boots. He's tough. How do you handle something like that in your debut, as it were?
I mean, I think the first thing is hitting the gym, asking a lot of questions, learning a couple things, because I'm not taking this lightly. I know everybody knows that LIM is all about comedy, but this isn't the funny PX. For the past few months, this has been a very different PX that people have not yet seen. I'm not taking this lightly. I have an opportunity. I have a motivation for why I'm doing everything that I'm doing here. I know that the idols are ruthless. I know that they will do whatever it takes to win, even if that means that every match that they've won, they haven't won cleanly. And I realize that this situation favors them. And my grandpa's here. So when it comes down to it on December 2nd, I'm going to be as ready as I possibly can, even with the limitations that I do have, because I have a lot of great people in my corner. Underestimate me if you want, but that's going to be a big mistake.
I tell you what, I'm going to give you the secret on how you could beat us. You want to know the only way you're going to ever be able to beat us at Christmas Chaos? Give C Yellow a microphone.
I would not call him C.
Ramble
I
on
would
and try to
stop
tell
the
a
C Yellow.
story, or let him try to make a point. And by that time, when he's finally finished, we'll be asleep on the ring, we'll be asleep on the mat, and then you can pin us and win. Because that's the only way you're going to win. Ladies and gentlemen, the long wind is here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to one of the iconic members of
Oh, there's only one group of icons.
yeah, and C Red is
See, that's the problem, Joey. You fucking think that you're an
Oh,
icon.
look at this. Swear.
Let's-
What is with
You know
the
why?
host of this show?
Because it's my fucking show. Fuck you.
Yeah, Grandpa, let's go.
So let's
Oh,
be real. Fucking Damian Gray, what the fuck have you done in this business? Yeah, as of the past year, you've been Luke fucking Warm, but when have you fucking been on TV? Okay, shut the fuck up. On to you, Kevin K.
You mean beside
When,
beat your
when-
ass?
no, when the fuck? You've never been on TV, so shut the fuck up.
I'll beat your ass
Kevin
on
K,
TV in front of
What have
anybody.
you done in this business outside the Midwest? Okay,
I have
then
kicked
you can
your
say-
ass. That's what I've
then you
done.
can say, oh no, last time I checked, I beat you, sir.
You were not my
Check the-
competitor in that match. You attacked me out of nowhere.
Oh no, not this past, but a month ago, sir. Look in the IPW record books. It says win C Red.
Does I was
Right,
there.
shut the fuck up, like I told you. Now Joey, as much as respect I have,
respect for you too. I never will lose respect for you. That's
let's
true.
be honest. Let's be honest. We've been doing this dance for years, Joey.
Yes, we have.
For years. So we're going to keep doing this dance all the way up to Christmas Chaos.
Yes,
We're
we
going to
will.
keep going. I'm going to give you me, you're going to give me you, and we're going to go at it. But what I won't have and I won't tolerate is your two monkeys acting like they're the shit when they haven't done shit. For 20 years, I've busted my ass and made the Midwest what the fuck it is. If it wasn't for people, and let's be honest, like Joey Roth and C Red, these two assholes wouldn't even be here.
all right. We get. Let's take this down a notch. Red, you're very fired up, and that's totally cool. And I knew this would kind of. I didn't think it would happen this quickly.
How the fuck you didn't think it was gonna happen?
We're both
You're
very
the one
pissed off,
that
Steve.
booked the show with the idols after the shit that just happened Saturday.
I told you. I knew this was gonna happen, Steve.
You know, Steve, it is in fact a symptom of Alzheimer's for irrational and uncontrollable anger. I know that age is becoming a problem. I think the mean age of this call just went up by about 40 years, but that's something you might want to watch out for. That is a symptom of early onset Alzheimer's.
Well,
To me,
guess
it just sounds like an old dog barking. It's ready to be put out to pasture.
But guess what, Kay? You won't be the bastard to do it.
Oh, give me
I've
a
had
shot.
bigger
Give me
I've
one
had-
shot, C-Ray.
Kay, I've had bigger motherfuckers than you to try to put me out. And I'm still fucking here. For 20 years, I'm still here, Kay. And guess
Stories-
what?
But
It's-
C-Red,
it's-
you know
it's
that
not the
C-Red, you
fact-
know the stories end. stories end, and your story's about to end soon. My story's going to end soon too. That's why these two guys right here, they're going to go ahead and they're going to be the future of what this business is. Kevin Cade and Damian Gray, they
I
might
hope not.
They didn't have 20 years, but
I
just
hope
think
not.
it's going to be 15 years from now when they're the
I
ones
hope not.
running everything.
I hope not, because the business will be fucking crashed and burned by then if we leave it
Never
in their
know.
fucking hands.
Those two guys, that's the future of our business right
I
there.
mean,
We're old dogs.
I might
We're old
I might
dogs.
even give it to Cade. I might even give it to Cade. Damian Gray, this motherfucker is stuck in Arthur Fonzarelli's shadow. Like,
Read
come
it.
the fuck
But I
on.
gotta tell you what, Arthur Fonzarelli is still on TV to this day.
And almost dead. I mean, come on. What the fuck? Like, Arnold
Fonz
Scott.
lives every single day on
Arnold
television, which
called.
means there are
Arnold's
people
called
who are
and said
watching
they
him,
want-
and people
They
are gonna
want to
watch
close
Damian
that.
Gray.
You know, Richie said he's not happy. Posse said, shut the fuck up, Damian.
Okay.
I
You know
second
what? You
that,
keep
C-Red.
running your mouth, Red. I'll let you keep talking, and I just hope you know how excited I am for December because I'm about to run circles around you, just like I did at IPW, just like I do every time I see you.
Ran
I'm about
circles, but you lost. You lost, fucker. You lost.
who got the belt? You didn't win the belt off me,
But,
did you?
but you
Oh.
didn't get the victory, did you? That's
Yeah.
the funny part
whoa,
about you.
you didn't
Let's
get a
be
W
honest.
next to your
2
name.
months-
You didn't walk
2
away. You
months.
didn't win.
2 months and you're on a fucking losing streak. What kind of fucking guy is that? You didn't even put the belt up the last fucking time because you knew you would get your ass handed to you.
No, I didn't put the belt up at IPW last time because Andy
Because
didn't
you
do a
knew
damn
you
thing
would
to
lose.
deserve it. The only reason that I put it up against you is because they wouldn't let me incorporate a age maximum on title challengers. I think it should be in place for presidents, for title challengers, and more importantly, for podcast hosts. All right? So that's the only reason you got the chance for it because I couldn't keep you away from it.
You know why
You fell back asswards
why,
into a
baby?
Rumble win, out
know
surviving
why?
a few other people because
you
the
can't
better
do-
folks decided to take you out. So that's why I didn't put the belt
What
on
better?
the line
What
because
better?
I'll do what it
Damien.
takes to hold on to it because I'm smarter than you.
Damien,
You turned on Miles and Renee. You guys split up. They were the best thing to ever happen to you, and the only reason
Nigga,
you stay
is you out
relevant
your
into this
fucking
decade.
mind? Nigga, have you not heard of the Soul Touchers? Get the fuck
That's
out of
racist.
here.
Mm-mm.
What the fuck
They
are
were the
you
only
talking
thing
about?
keeping
The
you relevant
best
into
thing
this
that ever
decade.
happened to me? The best thing? Get the
See what you
fuck out
did,
of here with
Steve?
that
See,
shit.
Steve, this is your fault. This is what you wanted. You wanted to have this on your show today, right? And this is what you got. So don't be sitting there waving that guy's face around here, even though it's a pretty face. You don't have to be doing that. This is what you wanted, and now you got it.
You
Be
should have
careful-
had popcorn delivered to all of us. That would have at least helped.
Be careful what you wish for, Stevie.
I thought
Now, maybe if you really wanted the show to stink, you'd have Shelly on it too.
Ugh, don't make me fun.
I did reach out to Shelly, and
What about it?
Shelly was a little too eager to be on and had some very colorful things to say about your Roxy. And I, again, trying to have a professional evening. I did not want that
How
to
did that
happen.
work out for you, Steve?
Well, I probably should have had
Make it
Shelly
even
because this is
better.
going to hell in a handcart.
But you know what? This is getting you guys views for once.
Well, we'll see about that. You were talking about the match.
Yeah.
C-Red, Johnny Nye, PX versus Joey Roth, Damian Gray, Kevin Cade with Roxy Hart in the corner on Christmas Chaos on December 2nd. And we have established it's a no disqualification match. So that means anything could happen. And you have alluded that bad things can happen in no disqualification matches, correct?
Yeah.
I'd like to perhaps remind you that anything can happen, but that doesn't mean it's going to break in your favor. Once upon a time, there was a match that you idols seem to have had locked up. Everything looked great. You were going to keep your company. You had the upper hand. You were going in for the kill. And then things changed. My question to you is, what happens when C-Red plays the no disqualification card on you, because it's very clearly established over the years that the man's got a lot of family.
That is true. And I'm never going to sit here and disparage and say C-Red has never done anything in his business. I'd be the stupidest person in the world to say that. He knows I respect him. This is beyond respect. So I know the Rolodex of names that C-Red has. There's a bomb in there. There's a trauma in there. There's a lot of names in that Rolodex that he could be calling upon. But again, it's a new world that we're living in. It's a new RPW that we're living in. And with Damian Gray and Kevin Cade and myself, I don't think there is anything. I know, along with Roxy Hart, there's nothing that's going to stop us. See, everybody wants to label us the bad guys, this and that and everything. When you look really deep down at everything, we are fighting for what we believe in. We are fighting for our survival. So C-Red, buddy, I know you. I know what's going on in that melon of yours. But you want to know what? I got a big head too. You don't know what I have up my sleeve.
Joey, you do know my Rolodex. Most of my Rolodex, you know. Most. Not all.
See, and I do get it. You taught me everything that I know, but you didn't teach me everything that you know. I get that.
So let me just say, again, for the longest, and Steve is my witness, I sat on the sidelines. I watched the show on YouTube every month for a year, watching you guys do your thing. I had nothing. Hey, let you guys do what you do, right? Okay. All right. Now, this little issue Damian has with Pax, okay, I'm even fine with that, because guess what? We live in a world that we all won't see everything eye to eye. That's fine. That's fine. But when Pax took it upon himself, not anybody else, he came to me and said, hey, you're our grandfather. Now, if anybody knows how I feel about my kids, biological, not biological, I love them all. So for him to ask that, I felt it was an honor. Okay, fine. Now, let's be honest. What kind of person, better yet, what kind of man would I be if I just keep letting him get manhandled by this monkey over here? I wouldn't.
A smart one.
No, because you're not smart. So be quiet, monkey, when the adults are talking. God, again. So I get it, Joey, because me and you can do this all night. We've done it for years, Joey.
Yeah.
We've done this song and dance
Yes, sir.
back and forth.
Yes, we have, sir.
I've had guys, you've had other guys. We've done it, right? And guess what? Most of the time, we've even played nice with each other. Some nights, hey, we even joined forces and took over places, right? But there's no secret that at the end of the year, I walk away on my terms. Not health's terms, not because nobody wants to book me. I'm not that sorry vet that's, I want to get booked, book me. No. I have a real life that I'm ready to now go and do other things. And that's fine. But this is totally different. This to me is about family. So I expect nothing but your very best, your very best mischievous, devious, underhanded, lying, conniving, dirty tricks, everything. I'm expecting it all, Joey.
Get it.
I'm expecting it all. Like, there's nothing you can do that will make me say, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. Because I know Joey. And more importantly, I know that pretty lady that's sitting next to you. And I know that once both of you put your heads together, oh shit, that's evil unpersonified. So there's nothing that you two can't concoct that I won't see coming. Will I be able to negate it? Will I be able to fight it off? I'm not going to say I am, but I'm damn sure going to try. Because for me, again, Christmas chaos is about family. And I'm not just fighting for PAX. I'm not just fighting for the LIM. I'm fighting for my real family also. Because guess what? They know what family means to me. I'm fighting for Steve, even though Steve doesn't have a dog in this fight. Steve is my brother. I love him like a brother. Everybody that I call brother, nephew in this business, I'm fighting for because they're family. I get it, Joey. I get it better than anybody else on here. That guess what? What you guys are doing is what you think is right. I've done it. I've done it. I've been to places and guess what? I do what I want to do. Why? Because I feel I'm right. I feel it's what I want to see. So I can't knock you for that, Joey. I can't knock you for having your group and your stable and saying, this is what we want and this is how we're going about it. The only problem now is that you drug PAX it. If it was some other fan, guess what? Hey, I'd be sitting there commentary probably and saying, man, it ain't right. But this time I can't. I can't. I mean, I just can't. Let's be honest. The first time a couple of months ago, you guys came out, ran down PAX. But great thought. Again, great thinks I'm this old dude that have nothing left. Yet I smacked the shit out of his ass and put him on his ass.
He did.
So, again,
Dr. Punch.
there's some fight left in this old dog, as Cade would say. Yeah, Cade, might be true. Put me out to pasture. And I'm fine with that. But guess what? I'm going to bite every son of a bitch along the way.
CPAX, if you would have pinned us right now, you would have got a 500 count.
So, just think.
Let's give a couple of the idols a chance to respond to what just happened here. Kevin Cade, I've known you long enough to know you got something to say. Let's give you forum to say what you feel you need to say.
You know what? I got nothing but respect for what C-Red just said, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to make sure that that old dog goes out the way he deserves.
You're too sentimental, Cade.
I'm a softie.
Yeah, look at him. You can tell, right? Believe it or not, he's the sensitive one.
Strong and sensitive.
Hey,
Strong
that's
silence.
what happens when you got a lot of heart on your team.
Look, I'll keep it short and sweet. You talk a lot of smack, Red. I'm gonna let my actions do my talking for me, but I just hope you know that I really cannot wait to be the reason that all those people that you talk about, that you say are counting on you, that seem to love you so much, I can't wait to be the reason that they go home disappointed. Not in the match, not in the show. The idols are on the show, and you know that means for a good show, but in you. And that is going to feel so good. Because PX, you wanted to talk, Pac-Man, you want to talk about all this stuff about us saying we were the longest reigning tag champs in Rocket Pro history. You were saying that was in the past. That was less than 1 calendar year ago. What we're talking about here is, what, decades ago? Hey, all the respect in the world for what you did and who you were, Red, but you've gone soft. And I can't wait to prove it.
Damon, you think I've gone soft, and that just pleases my heart. Because if anybody, there's 2 people on this call that knows I ain't shit when it comes to wrestling. I will pull some shit out of nowhere. And that's Steve, and that's your manager, Joey. I think me and him are probably the 2 most despised people on the fucking planet, because
I
there's
agree
nothing we won't do.
Or
So again,
there's nobody else that we won't piss off either.
So
Fair.
if you think that I'm soft, I'm loving it. That just means when I do something that's not ethical, when I do something that the new C-Red wouldn't do, then as you said, look back decades and see if I didn't do the same shit. Because I have. I haven't thrown away my tricks. I just put them in a bag. So maybe at Christmas Chaos, I just unpacked that damn bag.
C-Red's got a brand new bag. Pac-Man, you have been sitting there very quietly, very patiently. Like to give you a chance to respond to what you've heard, not only from C-Red, your friend, but from what the idols have said.
I mean, I'll be honest. I know when it comes to the 6 men in this match, what's that old song? One of these things is not like the other. I'm clearly the underdog here. I try not to fight. I try to avoid fighting if I can, but this situation has clearly shown that way of thinking that I've had, there has to be some exception to the rule. And I mean, if the crime that I've had is doing what all the other fans, except for maybe Nani at Rocket Pro, do, and
Don't get me started on that chick. That chick.
Hey, don't mess with the idolizers. The idolizers, they're going to be in full force at
That's
Christmas.
some David Koresh shit, those idolizers, man. There's gonna be a fire in the farmhouse. I'm telling you.
Don't you hate on our methods?
But the point that I'm saying here is I'm doing what everybody else is doing because everybody else sees who you all really are. And we're booing you. And we're chanting for you to lose. I mean, yeah, there is a bit of a learning curve that I'm going to have going into this match. But
this isn't school, man.
Regardless of that, I have what may be another standing room only show and a whole crowd of people behind what it is that C-Red, Johnny Nye, and myself are going to do. So when you really think about it, it's not 3-on-3. It's 500-on-3. And we will overwhelm you every single time, and we will definitely overwhelm you at Christmas Chaos.
Sounds like the odds are in our favor.
Strong words. I would be really interested to see if Rion Skills has any thoughts at the moment. He may have given up and stopped listening, but I'd be very interested to see if the Intercounty champion has anything to weigh in on.
What?
You've been listening to the conversation.
All right, Stone Cold.
What say you?
As far as everyone hooping and hollering and screaming and yelling, what particular part do
I just want to know your opinion of what you heard.
Um, hopefully they all get out their frustrations, and hopefully everyone understands that Pac-Man is still a fan, and he's in charge of the LIM. And hopefully they want to come back after whatever happens, because it's a lot of them. Because I don't want to miss out on the LIM or the Fabulous Idolizers or White Girl Wasted or any of the.
What the hell's a white girl wasted?
I'm just saying I don't want this one fight to make all the fans be afraid to come back, because at any time Damien Saint could just turn around and like, you know what, you're in a match next.
That's a very good point. GM Damien Saint has lost his mind.
I don't want that to be it. That's what I'm gathering out. I'm like, there's a bunch of stuff I'm gathering out of it, but I just don't want to be put in a position where fans are afraid to come to shows, because at any given time Damien Saint can be like, you know what? In our main event, there's going to be Santino versus Steve Michaels. And I'm not sure if I'm ready for that.
I'm ready
I'm
for that.
very ready for
I'm
that.
fucking ready for that. Pardon me. I'm ready for that.
Shut up and take my money.
Okay,
I mean, if
everybody
you
acts
want
like
my
we
thought,
started all this. Acts like we started this.
Yeah, hey, if the fans are worried about getting pulled into a match, just take a lesson and learn from the stupidity of PX. As long as you stay on that other side of the barricade permanently, you're all good. But when you step into our world, when you become technically a part of the RPW crew, that's when Saint would get his power over you. So just don't do that. We can handle your harping, your yapping, your yelling. We can handle all that, because frankly, I've seen what makes you cheer, and I'd be more concerned if you were cheering us than booing us. I think that'd be a much bigger indictment on our
Are you
characters.
worried about Nani then cheering you all the time? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not worried about anybody cheering me, because we do
Probably
what we
booing us
want
'cause
to
you wish
do
you could do what we
regardless
do.
of how people react.
Oh, all right. I with you.
But
Okay.
if they can do their hooting and hollering from the other side, just the second you step into our world, don't be upset when consequences come knocking.
Pax, let me ask you. Are you a little scared about what's going to happen?
I mean,
No, seriously, I want to. No, look. I mean, it's dead eyes, right into your eyes. Are you scared? A little bit scared that what could happen to you at Christmas Chaos on the 2nd? Are you a little scared?
I mean, I took a huge risk in agreeing to the match ultimately and signing the contract at the end of the show. I mean,
That's not the question. That's not the question I asked you. Are you scared?
I can't lie. I mean, there's a part of me. There's definitely a part of me that is a little concerned about what could happen on December 2nd at Christmas Chaos.
That's good.
Out of respect for our guest, his question was, are you scared? Pac-Man, are you scared? Yes or no?
A little bit, yeah. I answered the question.
Okay.
A little bit. See,
a little bit.
the answer should be, holy hell, I'm terrified. This is why we're going to do some horrible things to you, because you still don't get it, do you? I'm a little scared. That means you have no respect for us at all. I'm scared every time I go into that ring because I don't know what's going to happen. I have an idea of what's going to happen. But for you to say you're just a little bit scared, oh, Bubba, let me tell you something. You need to be terrified of what's going to happen, because all it takes is one good shot and it's all over.
All right. Before this gets any more insane, Damian Gray, you said that Pac-Man brought this on himself, that he came into this world, which is not true. He was a liaison to Chet Gunderson. He was on the staff of Rocket Pro, but you're the one that pushed him to begin with. You're the one that grabbed him and brought him in the ring. Those are your choices.
Yeah, and are you surprised
I am a
that
little
I struck
surprised
first?
because
That I decided to make the first physical action. I was the one who had the balls to actually take this and handle it like men.
those aren't.
Are you
balls, man.
surprised
Those
by
aren't
that? I thought you knew
balls.
me better than that.
I like to think I know you better, but going after a fan isn't balls.
Not a fan.
You know what?
Not a fan.
We've established the fact that we went after a fan. How many times are you going to keep on ringing that bell? That, oh, you went after a fan. We know what we did. There's a reason why we did what we did. So maybe you should just move on from the fact.
I'm going to make a point here. I'm going to make a point here.
Okay.
You know, before you make your point, Joey dear, this conversation is just exhausting me. You guys have your little fun. I'm gonna head to the spa. After all, I have to get on the stage again in a couple of days.
Thank you, Roxy, for interrupting me. I appreciate that. And we wish you well on your show in Palos Park. We hope it's a big sellout and you do very well. But
we'll be talking more about her show on my podcast.
That's great. That's great. And I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to be here tonight. So if you're going to the spa, then I suggest you get the fuck out and shut the fuck up.
I will go because I choose to, but never ever will I stop talking. Toodaloo, boys. Don't have too much more fun without me.
All right. Now that annoyance is gone, my question to you before she interrupted me is this, and this is to Gray, this is to Roth, this is to Cade. The world famous Fabulous Idols, world renowned, badasses, very, very impressive run of success. And now the best you got is running down fans. It's just sad, man. It's just sad.
There's nothing sad about it,
Cade,
Steven, and I've had it with your
fighting tag
pathetic
team matches,
framing.
and you're not. You're going after fans. It makes no sense. What's wrong with you?
Steven, if there's one thing we've learned is that we have to take care of blood feuds and nip them in the bud. We let it fester with Johnny Nye, and look at how that came back to us. We can't let these things sit and simmer. So you know what? Yeah, I would like to think that we would be beyond this. I would like to think that no one in that crowd is stupid enough to pursue and harass us like the LIM did. I would like to think that, but sadly, my expectations were at the floor, and I'm somehow still disappointed. So we need to nip this in the bud and handle it right now, because the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter how big or how small you are. You come for an idol, and you get dealt with. Period. End of story. So we were just happy that we were able to do it with some legal immunity under the sanction of a wrestling show and a wrestling match. Yeah, he wasn't expecting it. Yeah, we struck first. That's precisely who we are and what we do. We aren't dumb enough to get caught on our heels anymore. We had one blind spot, a person that we thought we can trust, and that's been dealt with. We aren't making those mistakes again. Nothing festers. We handle business now, and we handle it for good. So I'm not going to tolerate your stupid little framing, how you try to portray us as the bad guy. All we did was fight back better and harder. What's wrong with that? We're allowed to win, baby.
That's what we do
We didn't
best.
even start this one, and believe me, there's a lot that we've started. We like
What'd
to
you
start
do?
things. But
What
in
would
this
you
case,
do?
we weren't even the ones who started it. We are the victims who are just fighting back. And you have, just because we do it better, just because we do it more effectively, we're somehow supposed to be framed as a bad guy?
Pac-Man, I'm going to give you form in a minute. Mr. Cade, you had something to say.
No, I just agree with his points 100%.
Okay.
In order for us to get back to our glory days of winning titles in this company, we got to nip these little insects out first. That's exactly what we're going to do with PAX. It's exactly what we're going to do with that old dog C Red, and it's exactly what we're going to do with that traitor Johnny Nye. And once their blood is all over our hands, we can move on to bigger and better things, but not a minute before.
Pac-Man, your thoughts?
I'm gonna respond to Damien here a second. I just so happen to have next to me my volume 87. There you are.
The handsome man.
This was my senior year. You're on the JV wrestling team.
Yes, I was a freshman, and I had a state champion at my weight who was a senior.
So here's my thing. We go back a lot earlier than a lot of people realize.
Oh yeah,
I
we're in the
mean,
same neighborhood.
you wanted to claim that somehow you're a victim. When we were in high school in the neighborhood, you would shove me into lockers, you would steal my milk money, you would bully me, harass me, doing pretty much everything you're doing now. And then all these years later, I don't see you, and then I see you at Rocket Pro. I remember, I think the first time I saw you, you were ringing the bell, if I'm remembering right?
If that's the first time you were there, then yes.
So, and that might have been, yeah. And then I watched you join the Idols, and it didn't shock me at all because I've known you and I've seen you for exactly who you are this whole time because I've experienced what you've done. I don't take you lightly. I act like I do, but that's my defense mechanism.
And it's not a good one.
That's my way to tell myself that you can't get to me. But the thing is, I have to be honest. I have to be honest. You got to me. You did. Just like you did when we were back in high school. But then the school administrators, I remember, they would not give you any sort of trouble what you do because you had a wrestling meet
couldn't touch me
the very next day.
Uh-huh.
And you were on your way to a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like I'm a lot more supported. So then when it comes to you and me on December 2nd, because, oh man, I've known you for a long time. And the fact that after all these years, brother, I finally got a chance to shut you up for good. I'm not going to say no to an opportunity to do that.
You said it yourself. You had a million opportunities. What you sat there and took it for years? I was a freshman, pal. I was 3-4 years younger than you, and you still took it. You had every opportunity in the world back then, and you chickened out and didn't take it. You were nothing more. You said I wanted to play a victim. I never said I was a victim. We are not victims because we're putting a stop to it ourselves. You were the one who was victimized. And every time you did nothing about it. You balked at your chance. And frankly, I'm not convinced you're not going to do the same thing in December. I think you're just going to end up having I think friends is too strong of a word. Parasocial admirers, I guess. Someone that you admire in a parasocial, pseudo-incestuous way with all this family implication, whatever you want to call it. You're going to have Red and you're going to have Johnny with you. And I think you're just going to stand right behind them. I think you're going to let them do the fighting for you and take the beating for you. So you want to take this opportunity? Prove me wrong, because that's something I've been waiting for since I was 13 years old, pal.
This moment is something I've been waiting for since I was 17.
Pax,
I'm not going to miss.
Do you need some tissue? Do you need some tissue because you're sitting there crying about something that happened, how long ago? 10, 15 years ago? You're sitting there crying about something that happened in high school? How old are you? You're a pathetic loser. Let it go. That is the past. You want to go ahead? You are one of those persons who just sits there and goes, oh my God, I was picked on. You were picked on when Damien was a freshman and you were a senior, you're getting picked on? Like now I totally see why you are the way you are. Let it go. It's been how long? How long? And you're still crying about it? No, my God, you're still sitting there crying about the past.
I
But it
don't-
ain't about the past. It's about the present.
I
And
don't
the
think
present is you're in trouble, punk.
I don't think you need to be this disrespectful at this point, Joey.
Yeah.
Let's talk about December 2nd. We know what the match is. We know we all the posturing is, and there'll continue to be posturing for the next month. And that's fine. And I've been hit by Damian Gray. I've been hit by Kevin Cade. I've even been hit by you. And it doesn't feel good. So Pax, if Gray gives you a right hand across the jaw, been there, done that. If Kevin Cade hits you in the short ribs real hard, I've been there, done that. If Joey Roth does Joey Roth stuff all over you, I've been there, done that too, my friend. And it doesn't feel good. But here's the thing, Joey. This is something you can't deny. The Idols have been on the run for almost a calendar year. You've lost your relevance. You've lost your titles. You've lost your stroke. You've become a puppet to Damian Saint. We ran you out in May, and I'm pretty confident they're going to run you out in December. Not that I don't think Cade and Gray are tremendous athletes, incredibly talented, and could once again, at some point, hold gold in Rocket Pro. But you, sir, are at the end. And I have told you this many times, last time being the time I took that belt from you. And I beat your ass in that ring.
I didn't get pinned.
You didn't get pinned, but you got beat. You think that you've got the stroke to take out C-Red and Johnny Nye, and the Idols are ready. And I believe the Idols are ready. But, sir, I'm telling you, no disrespect to Gray, no disrespect to Nye. Brother, I'm coming for you.
There ain't no strings on me. I ain't nobody's puppet. As you can see, I totally march to the beat of my own drum. And who better knows the tune than I do? Steve, after we're done with this little problem, I'm coming for you too. So you know what that's going to mean? We're going to be right in the freaking middle. And just wait. I have short work to do on the 2nd. But after that, I'll show you what a puppet could really do. You want to play? I'm not going to play. I'm just going to hurt you.
Kind
And I'm
of
going
feel
to
like you
smile
tried.
when I do it. Look at these teeth.
Red, any final thoughts before the Idols go away?
Oh, thank God.
Pax, you're not going to be thanking God. You're going to be praying to God to hope that you could actually walk out of the ring when we're done with you. Okay, again, I'm sorry. This ain't a joke, man. This isn't a joke. You're treating like a joke. I said it before. You're going into, you're stepping in the ring with men, okay? You said 6 men earlier. No, it's 5 men and 1 little boy. It's over, Pax, okay? It's over before it begins. You're still not understanding what I'm saying. You're still not getting it through that head of yours. You think it's a joke. You think we're playing. We're not playing. And if anybody else out there who's going to watch us go, oh, it's just another match with another fan. Nah, screw them. You still don't get it. But on December 2nd, you're gonna. Tell me I'm wrong, guys. I don't think so. He thinks we're a fun. He thinks we're a joke. Look at his face. Look at him. Red, this is the guy who's going to be in your corner. Him, this guy right here. He's going to be in your corner. You better get him under control and let him know what he's stepping into the ring with. It's all fun and games until it happens. It's all fun and games until you get smacked in the face. Then you're going to realize it's not fun. Then you're going to realize we make the rules to the game, Pax. Red, let him know what he's in for. Buddy, I love you. I always will. But on the 2nd, That's gone for the night. Let him know what he's getting himself into, because I really don't think he gets it yet.
Joey, I will take your words and I will have a conversation with Pax and I will explain to him the difference
I know.
that we can agree on. Kevin K, you are a monster. I will never take that away from you. I have seen you brutalize. I have seen you beat. And I have seen you dominate men. Bigger, stronger, younger, tougher than me. I respect you. You're here. So I can't back down from it. So yeah, I might get my head knocked off by you. But guess what? You're going to have to, like you say, put me out the pasture. You're going to have to. Because I'm going to keep getting up. I'm going to keep getting up. See, that's the one thing that your partner hasn't told you. That, yeah, he's beaten me. We fought. But that's the thing Gray hates. That I'm that old man that keeps getting up. I'm that old man that won't sit down. I'm that old man that won't lay down. I keep coming. I keep coming. And I'm going to keep coming. So on the 2nd, Cade, Gray, and even Joey. Yeah, some people might look at it as a handicap. 3 versus 2 plus a 1. I'm going in there. Johnny is going in there. And we're giving it everything we got. By the time the 2nd rolls around, after I've talked to Pax, tell him how serious this is, tell him what's actually on the line. Because let's be honest, gentlemen, whether anybody wants to acknowledge it, we're making history here. It might not be for the right way, but we're making history. No other company that I know of has had this internal issue with a fan and decide that not only the fan has to sign a contract, but also a waiver, making sure the company is not liable if anything happens to them. See, it's all fun and game. We're all professionals here. We've seen fans jump in the ring, and what happens?
Oh, yeah.
The boys take their heads off, right or wrong. You don't step into our world. But this time, it is now sanctioned. This time is now legit. So I will have that conversation, Joey, because I think it definitely needs to be said. And I think you brought up a few great points tonight that I need to get across to him. And I'll do that. But on the 2nd, and I love that about you, Joey. I love that about you. Guess what? We're going to go in. We can sit there and we can smile and nod and reminisce and think about all the things we've done and all the fun we've had together. And when that bell rings, it goes out the window.
Oh, yes.
We're opponents and we're fighting each other. And I love that. But again, Joey, this ain't about you. Kate, this ain't about you. Damian Gray has been a pain in my ass for the past few months. And I know he takes pride in that. But again, what he also hates is that I'm still here. I haven't went anywhere, Damian. You haven't gotten rid of me. See, it's funny that your partner has to talk about putting me out to pasture because you weren't man enough to do the job. You haven't done the job. Have you? Have you? Because every time you turn around, I'm right there. So maybe on the second, your partner can get the job done and get rid of C-Red for good. But if it's left up to you, it won't happen. It just won't happen because you haven't done it. Have you? No, you haven't.
Maybe I let some of my sentimentality get the best of me.
Oh, nice.
I won't make that mistake again. Don't worry about that.
Kevin Cade, you're a very busy athlete. Aside from December 2nd at St. Joe's Park, where can people go to watch you work?
Scattered all around the Midwest, but main hub for me is in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, at Cape Championship Wrestling, where I am part of the second longest reigning, but soon to be first longest reigning tag team champions there. And it won't be long until I have more tag team championship gold wherever I go, whoever I team with. But looking forward to earning some with Damian Gray here in the near future.
I have seen some of your promos. You guys are pretty tough down there, you and your tag team partner. We wish you well in that endeavor. Damian Gray, we know we're going to see you on December 2nd in Joliet. I know we're going to see you at IPW as we approach the end of this month. Where else can the kids see you?
Yeah, I'll just give you the whole rundown. This Saturday, I'm going to be at EHF up in Michigan. The 18th, I'm going to be at Crash Tested Wrestling out in Maryville, Indiana. 25th, I'm going to be at Great Lakes Wrestling Alliance, GLWA, up in Coloma, Michigan. And then, of course, on the 26th, I'll be in Richton Park for IPW as your league champion. And then, of course, as you were mentioning, Christmas Chaos. So I'll see you there.
Joey Roth, I know you've got big fish to fry on December 2nd, but I also know there's some megastars and there's some Phoenix wrestling out there. Tell the kids.
On this Saturday night, November 11th, at the Berwyn Eagles Club, the world famous Berwyn Eagles Club. It's Squared Circle Megastars, Masters of the Squared Circle Megastars 4, where I run the show. And next year I'm going to be doing something with Phoenix Pro, toss them a bone, make them put them on the mat. But what I'm talking about right now is Saturday night, Squared Circle Megastars. I'm the boss. And you think I caused trouble at RPW, come see me at Squared Circle and see how much trouble I caused there. But December 2nd, Christmas Chaos. Christmas is going to come early for the Idos as we unwrap packs, as we unwrap Red and that traitor Nye. We unwrap them for the frauds. Besides you, Red, you're no fraud. The frauds that the other two are. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Idols, I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be a part of this show. I had hoped that it was a little more reserved, but you don't always get what you want. We will see you December 2nd, and I leave you with one bit of advice. Expect the unexpected. Just when you think you've prepared for everything, something happens that you never see coming. Right, Joe?
Sure.
All right. We're going to let the idols go away because we've got some things to wrap up as we finish the show tonight. Don't miss Christmas Chaos, Rocket Pro Wrestling. We're the Beast, Kevin Cade, and Damian Gray, and Joey Roth take on the urban sensation, PX and the Rockstar Johnny Nye, in what can only be described as one of the most unorthodox matches ever booked at Rocket Pro Wrestling. The last time, Joey, you were in an unorthodox match, you got run out of town and lost a belt. I'd prepare a little harder this time.
Fine. But you know what? I could be beaten, but I'm never going anywhere. Over 21 years, a lot of people have tried, and here I am, still smiling.
Okay, well, that was festive. All right. Good night, idols. Thank you so much. You are no longer required to be here. You can go enjoy your evening. Kevin Cade, you can go bathe in blood. Damian Gray, you can go sacrifice a chicken. Joey Roth, you can go do whatever you and Roxy Hart do. We'll see you on December 2nd.
It's a goat tonight, actually. But
I
we'll
don't
do
doubt it. Not for a minute.
Pleasure's been all yours.
Oh, my goodness. Those idols, I tell you, they are a problematic bunch.
Steve, so
Thank God.
I don't know why you booked this show, but I will apologize to you, Rion and Pax and all our viewers. Yeah, I came in a little heated. Again, Damian Saint is that cockroach. You know, when you look and you think you've killed it, and it keeps coming back. And Damian just isn't that cockroach at IPW. He's that cockroach at Rocket Pro. And now he's that cockroach personally impacts his life. So just the sight of Gray gets my blood boiling and gets me pissed off. As you saw by my actions last week at IPW. Like, just something about the dude I can't stand. You know, you ever had that one person, again, you see him, it's on site. Like, and that's great for me. It's great. And now that he's touched my grandson, all of this other stuff, yeah, this is personal. This is personal. So I apologize to anybody with my outbursts, my comments. They are not becoming of me. So I apologize. And on that note, I'd like to wish a happy birthday to one of our dear friends, his best friend, Shelly. Happy birthday from Steve, Pax, Rion, Rachel, everybody here at Power Hour. We hope you are blessed. We hope you have many, many more.
That's why Shelly couldn't be here tonight. Why would she want to do a podcast on her birthday?
No, not that Shelly.
Oh.
Jamie's Shelly.
Oh.
Jamie's best friend, Shelly.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I thought you meant the other. I was like, God, I didn't get that on my thing. Anyways, Red, you asked a great question. Why did I do this? It's very simple.
Because you're the agent of chaos.
Well, I suppose that's to be asserted. That's
That's a
to
big
be
part of it, yeah.
expected. But I really did have an earnest reason why. I wanted to give the fans that watch our show and go to the Rocket Pro shows an idea of exactly what's on the line, the gravity of the situation. I have had bad blood with Joey Roth for more than a calendar year now. I have been beaten up by everybody that has been on this show that's been an idol. And I know what's at stake. And now we've got Pac-Man going to have to put on boots and tights to get in there and do his business. And I don't think people understand what's really going on here and what's really at stake. See, they wouldn't acknowledge it, but it's well known that the idols their ship has been listing. They have been on the run for the last 8 months. Loss after loss, defeat after defeat. One more would make them completely irrelevant in this company. They need this win. Without this win, they splinter into a million pieces, whether Joey Roth wants to admit it or not. You three men might be the answer that we've been looking for since the idols invaded and took over. We have them on the ropes. You know, we got them in May. We sent them packing for a while. And now they're making that one last grab, trying to hold on to what makes them fabulous and run Rocket Pro. But they have to beat you. And I just don't think they can. And I wanted everybody to see them posture and preen and do their idol stuff and realize that they've challenged a fan, a retiring manager who has
Hey, I
a
wrestled.
legacy. Whoa, I'm not done. Who has a legacy of being volatile and unpredictable, and a man that was in their ranks. I smell desperation. And Damian Saint has catered to them and gives them what they want. So, gentlemen, on December 2nd, you have a very, very interesting opportunity. Something that I couldn't handle myself. You could be the three that eliminate the idols from Rocket Pro Wrestling for good. And I will be at commentary and I will call every damn thing. And if shenanigans happen, I'm 10 feet away. And Damian Saint said he doesn't care what I do. So Roxy Hart will not be a factor, not on my watch.
Well, I appreciate that, Steve. But I'm not underestimating the idols because of everything you just said. Everything you just said, I want you to really think about that. Where are they right now? Where are they?
They're a wounded animal, see, Red. That's what they are.
And that's a dangerous thing. And I mean, let's be honest. You keep bringing up Damian Saint. Well, why do you think Damian Saint caters to the idols? Who put Damian Saint in the situation that he's in now? It's the idols, right?
Right. Exactly.
So let's break this down really. The biggest issue is Johnny. They hate that they made a mistake, right?
Right.
And Johnny lost. And they put their hands on Johnny, right?
Yep.
And in May, in your main event, they did not see Johnny coming.
Correct.
But now they do. So now they want to teach him, don't turn your back on the idols. I know the game plan. Why? Because I've done it. I've done it. So that's personal. Me, again, me and Joy have mutual respect for each other for all these years. Again, but the bell's going to ring, and I'm going to go after Joy just like I would go after anybody else. Cade, I'm probably going to get my ass, but I'm going to put up a fight. But when it comes to Gray is that person that I just told you. When I see him, it's on sight. I hate him. I can't stand him. Again, he walks around not only at Rocket Pro, but IPW like he owns the world, like nobody can touch him. When, let's be honest, it's because of his shenanigans that he even has that damn title. And he's trying everything in his grasp. He couldn't beat me. He couldn't. So what did he do? He had to hit a ref to get DQ. The next month, yeah, you want to prove something? He could have put the title on the line if he thought Andy was such a cakewalk. He didn't, and he took a loss. Again. So when it comes to me, I'm that wild card. because I do have a Rolodex of people I can call. And guess what?
They'll never see it coming.
They won't.
Mm-hmm.
But Pax, I hate to admit it, but Joey is right. See, it's different when you're on one side of the barricade and you're yes or boo. Now you have to put your body on the line. And let me explain that to you in full detail. That guess what? Your livelihood, your family, when you step through those ropes on December 2nd, all of that's on the line. I understand this pride thing, and I understand, and I got your back. I am there for you. But I need you to understand. So I need you to take this serious. I don't know what you need to do. You need to call a personal trainer or get some ring time somewhere, something. Because understand, it can take one blow and your whole world changes. Your whole world. Imagine trying to get up Monday for work and you can't.
I've been there.
You have to call off because you can't make it. Imagine Saturday night, something goes horribly wrong. And somebody has to contact your next of kin because you're in the emergency room. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole any further, but I want you to understand the severity of this. One, I don't appreciate them putting their hands on. So I'm going to fight with you tooth, nail, and everything I have in me. But what I need from you, what Johnny Nine needs from you, is for you to understand what you're doing on Saturday, December 2nd. It's not about the LIM. It's not about afterwards I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go have an old style. No. This is a different game. And again, every time you step, every guy and girl, woman and man that steps in between those ropes, I don't care where it is, we put our life on the line. I don't care if it's independence. I don't care if it's the big leagues. We put our life on the line with no guarantee that the way we walked in is the way we're walking out. And what the hell? Pay me no attention. My computer just, a screen magically appeared. That's odd. We don't have any guarantees. You know, most sports, you can try to figure out, you know, wrestling is the most unpredictable sport there is. Steve can tell you from the first time he got in the ring.
I remember Mitch Blake flying from 10 feet in the air, dropping his elbow on my skull. And I didn't go to work for a couple of days after it. Until you actually get hit, you've never been hit. You don't know. It's an experience. And I always say, be careful what you ask for. You may get it.
So again, I love you. I don't want to see anything bad happen to you. So, but I need you to take this serious. Again, I know this is going to be asking a lot, but those styles there. Get to a gym. Do some running. Do something. Because at the end of the day, we're trusting you like you're trusting us. And I have no problem that if I need to make a tag, I don't want to have to second guess. If I'm reaching my hand out and I'm in trouble, I don't want to have to look and say, Pax, Johnny, Pax, or Johnny. I want to know with confidence that if I reach my hand to you, that you've got my back. All right?
I will.
A lot of heavy topics tonight here on this particular show as we prepare for December 2nd and Christmas Chaos. There you see the poster right there Rian's got up. One of the main event matches that night will be the final level, defending their titles against NWA's very popular tag team, Magic Inc. That should be a match that should be.
Man, you know what I missed tonight? We gotta hurry up and wrap this up. I gotta watch that.
That's right. You got to watch that.
No, you don't know who Magic Inc. took on tonight on NWA Power?
Who'd they take on tonight?
Blunt Force Trauma, my new favorite tag team.
Oh,
Yeah. Wow.
Right.
We got to go watch that shit. We got to go
Yeah.
watch it quick.
Yeah.
All right. Pac-Man, in other news, what happened this morning or what happened yesterday on JFW? I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. Is there anything I need to know?
How bad did we get talked about?
I mean, no comment to try to keep the peace here a little bit.
So who
I'm
was
doing
it?
my best. I'm kind of like
I
I'm
get
in
that.
a very difficult position here, guys.
We get it. We get it. But who was the target this week? Was it Steve? Was it me? Was it Rion?
Or was he just shooting scatter guns?
Right. Or was it everybody? We all
Well, I mean, there's this podcast, Fourth Mother Box, that keeps talking crap about me and Nubby. They talk a lot about, comic books, Metallica, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and they have a lot to say about myself and Nubby. We've been addressing it very, very aggressively, and both of us are going back and forth. It's gotten to a point where I've even had to consider writing a diss track, me, to address everything that they've thrown my way. Travis has gotten off very light, I will say that. But me and Nubby, well, this week Nubby got it a little worse than I did. But they did make that photo that the Idols took of me in the back all beaten down. They made that their cover photo. So they're rubbing salt in the wound of everything that happens, even though they're, I believe they're in Florida based. They are keeping tabs on everything going on here in Illinois.
Not another podcast in a war. What the hell is going on? Can't you guys play nice with anybody?
Hey, we didn't start it this time. We didn't start it.
So what you're saying is shots were fired. They just wanted to fire it at the Power Hour. They were fired at somebody else.
Nubby and I were firing shots back at them. More Nubby than me, because again, Nubby was more the target of the Fourth Mother Box, which you can find wherever you get your favorite podcast.
So there were no shots fired at us this time.
No, you guys are pretty much in the clear from the Fourth Mother Box.
No, I'm talking about from JFW.
No comment.
I don't know who the fuck the Fourth Mother Box is. I don't give a shit. From Florida? Great. Tell Ron DeSantis I said hey.
No comment. I will say no comment.
Steve,
so they did shoot at us.
Steve, listen to the show. Let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll do that tonight. Rocket Pro, Harvest Havoc happened. Red went in the ring, wheeled in a chair. It was beautiful to see. Damian Saint made the match. It was a great, great show. I thought Harvest Havoc was wonderful. We got to see Shogun, Paulie Tomaselli.
I was getting ready to mention that we make dreams come true.
I want to throw something out there. How would you all feel if we welcomed the Tomaselli on Tuesday nights on a regular basis?
Oh, I don't know about that. And I'm right here. You're looking at my chair on my picture.
But
It's like Red's pictures talking right to me.
I don't know about that because, I think Paulie is like, you gotta take it as it comes. Don't overdo it.
I don't know. I think we may need a little power ballad, Tomaselli. We'll see what happens in 2024 if 2024 even exists. We saw Rion Skills defeat JVJ to retain his intercounty championship. Rion is
Man, he kicked that boy's number, but he did.
Frozen Peace, the suburban German. There's no.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I was lucky. Lucky.
Rion, go back to mute because
Christmas
you're the same
came
guy.
early for Rion Skills.
You're the
because
same
he
guy.
was the nutcracker.
You're the same guy that said on this show, "Oh, Von Jaeger's gonna win," and everybody here picked you, and you said Von Jaeger was gonna win. So
Von Jaeger flipped the switch.
Right.
The switch flipped, and Rion went old school Rion on him and dropped him like a bad habit and cracked his nuts. It was a lot happening.
brutal. Hey, I'm just saying. Mind me never to get on your bad side, Mr. Skills.
Yeah.
Please. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Gunner Brave is your Rocket to the Top winner. Although that
Dude, about him landing on that ladder?
Yeah, Dumb Ways to Die was the video I saw. That was not good.
May I speak on something real quick about that match, if possible?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I sat and watched that entire match. There is one particular instance towards the end where you had Gunner Brave and Wolverine, as I'm going to call him, on the top of the ladder, and Gunner Brave had Wolverine in the middle of the air, and then the only thing that saved his life was that Wolverine didn't want to go.
I remember that.
He was upside down, and his head was prepared to spike. And all I could do was just like, I don't. Today is the last day of Rocket Pro. We're about to witness a murder. Today is the day that someone's going to die in ring, and it didn't happen. Kudos for Wolverine not dying. But there was a very, very quick period of time where I was like, okay, we're all witnesses in this potential murder that is going to take place.
Rion,
right
you're
now.
absolutely right. There were almost a couple of homicides. I thought at one point Nick Diamond died.
Oh, that's fair.
Did you
That's
see
fair.
that?
I did.
You know what I'm talking about, getting your head spiked. I thought that, and that match was every bit as exciting as I thought. Sign me up anytime Connor Hopkins, Quinn Whittick, and Nick Diamond want to fight again, because that match was spun gold.
Hey, whether we like him or not, dude, we've got to give kudos to Nick Diamond on a very impressive debut at Rocket Pro.
Oh, hell yeah. Boy, the Karen chants. He had that crowd in his hip pocket. They didn't like him because they don't like him across the board, but boy, did he get a reaction in Joliet.
Dude, I don't think I've ever seen anybody get such a reaction on a debut. Because most times, again, people, they don't know who you are, so they're like, but he was hated from the jump. But more importantly and more impressively, dude, his wrestling spoke volumes. And he went toe to toe with those guys, dude. So
hell of a match.
I was impressed.
Speaking of hell of a match, what about that open challenge? Stone and Shaq. That shit was the bomb.
I remember there was a time when me and you were sitting at commentary, and I don't think mics were hot. And you said, who is it going to be? And I don't know. It could be anybody. I mean, hell, you know. Honestly, I was in my gut, I was feeling Saint was pulling a swerve and it was going to be one of his guys.
I was hoping it was going to be Acid.
Why? So I could lose my mind. But Shaq came out, and I must admit, both men knew each other so well from previous encounters at other places. And they, like, that match had people standing and applauding, which they should have, because oh my God, they put on a match, a great match. But now the question remains. Quinn wants his belt back. Quinn wants his
Very
belt
clearly established.
He no pun intended, but no stone unturned. He wants that belt back. So the question is, will the contracts be signed in time for Christmas Chaos?
Only time will tell. Also, we witnessed what appeared to me is the complete and total destruction of those damn Coyotes. So much so that in December at Christmas Chaos, Christian Rose and Berna lights out. Damn.
But what did I tell you? I've been telling you for months, and I don't know if you're listening, and maybe you're starting to listen. I don't know. I told you, old evil Christian Rose is just that. And I don't know. So we all know it started with Bucky, right?
Yeah, Bucky.
We know that.
And Bucky whispered something to Berna after that match. What did he say?
And that's the question. What did Bucky whisper? Like, think about it. This is our enemy, right?
Right.
And we have a match. And after the match, I lose the match. And instead, the guy that I despise says something to me. And I don't push him away. I don't.
You listen and then follow him.
Right. But now the question is, then Berna comes out because he's tired. Because let's be honest, Christian Rose didn't have to do what he did to Deshane's hand. He did not.
It was a submission match that he treated like a barroom brawl. And we can't forgive Christian Rose for where he's gone. That man is hopelessly lost. I don't know where he is, but I've seen Berna in a lights out match. And when Berna and Brave got down in that match, it was one of the most violent things I've ever seen. Lights Out 2. Never thought it would be between Berna and Rose. You better get your tickets to Joliet for Christmas Chaos, because that match is going to be one of the most sadistic things, especially with Rose in the headspace that he's in now. And with Bucky maybe pulling the strings on Berna, that is a recipe for absolute disaster.
But where's the other two?
Don't know. Listen, Hopkins has got title. He's got a title. He's gonna have a title shot.
I know.
He's gonna have a defense.
But think about it, and that's where I've been trying you guys to think. How long can he keep going, knowing he has his own agenda, but seeing his family fall apart around him?
That's a fair question. And we don't even know if Damian Deshane will be cleared medically to even compete at Christmas Chaos. He might not even be there. We don't know. A lot of questions answered at Harvest Havoc, even more questions asked. So you'll see Red and Pac-Man and Johnny Nye taking on the Idols. You've got Lights Out. You've got the Tag Team Championship match. Other matches to be announced. If you thought Harvest Havoc was impressive, if you thought Darkness Falls was unbelievable, Christmas Chaos is one of those events that happens every year, and strange things happen to end the year. Don't miss it. Saturday, December 2nd in Joliet. Before we go, guys, let's talk real quick about what's happening this Saturday as the Chicago Knockouts. The final championship match. The Horrific Haunters and the Retro Rumblers for the Golden Skate. Red, why you waving?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, C-Red will be in the building.
You picked the knockout show to go to that I'm not going to be at.
Well, you suck there.
I do. I got to marry TJ Steele.
That this week? Why?
Because he asked me to.
But he sucks.
Well, it doesn't matter if he sucks. We'll talk about that next week.
He must be paying you a lot.
We'll talk about.
That's what it is. He's taking that general manager's pay, and you want to feel that check? I get it.
I'll see you at CSW in a few weeks, and we'll talk about that. But the Retro Rumblers, Horrific Haunters, the battle for the Golden Skate. There's Loretta Sin right there. She will be there, and she will be ready to go for the Retro Rumblers. Rion will be there as a fight ref. C-Red will be there cheering things on, or maybe he'll be a fight ref. You never know. Yeah, you stay away. You better be careful.
I
man.
want no part of that smoke.
I know why you're going. Megatron's going to be there.
That has nothing to do.
She's a Horrific Haunter.
That has nothing.
Actually, she might be. I don't know. She'll be there. She'll be doing something.
I plead the fifth.
Rachel Cactus Rack will be a coach for the Haunters, from what I understand. So she will be in attendance as well. I'll tell you what. They build up all year. They have match after match that leads to this moment in time. The Golden Skate. Last year, the Comic Book Crushers made it a few years in a row that they were the champions. And now they're not even in the title match. They got eliminated. So we've got Crimson Vixen and the Retro Rumblers taking on Beetlejuice and the Horrific Haunters. And all your favorites will be there. All of them. Euro Thrash will be there. They'll all be there. Marley Quinn will be there. If Like a Boss is healed, she'll probably be there. Jen and Tonic will be there for the Retro Rumblers. This is going to be an electrifying night. This might sell out. Everybody in Homewood is vested in the roller derby. They have been going each month watching this path to this final match for the Golden Skate. And my guy Ocho and my guy Mouthpiece will be doing the commentary. If the wedding gets over early, I'm going to try to make it out to see how it ends. But I'm telling you, man, until you've seen roller derby in Homewood, you just haven't been entertained in the right ways. So there's the graphic. Get your tickets now. It's going to be hard to get them on the day of the show because that building is going to go because this is an important match. All my best to my Knockout family. I will be back in 2024. Can't wait to do it again. It's going to be electric. It's going to be spectacular. So,
and just say, do y'all do? Thank y'all for coming. Good night.
Indeed. All right. So don't miss that on Saturday.
That's how you do the wedding, man. I just told you how to do it.
I got to do it a little different than that, right? We're gonna be at Gibson Steakhouse in Oak Brook. You know, you got to make it. There's got to make it classy.
Okay. Will you?
This ain't Spaceballs, brother.
I'm trying to help you out.
Do you kiss her? No,
right.
It's not going to be that.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to get you in two places at one time.
Listen, I'm doing a double shot. Hey, the only way I do a double shot if Dina gets bored and wants to leave early. But that's
never mind.
That's a story for another time. Next week on this show, we've got a good one for you. I'm very excited.
Last week. You said that last week.
This week is even better. Next week on this show, we have 2 guests. And since it is the show before the season finale of CSW, the second Shitty Showdown 3, I decided that we need to go hard or stay home. We're going hard because next week on this show,
We can't stay home.
women's champion Bombshell Shelly Benson will be on this show, as well as the living legend and man going into the Hall of Fame, Ice Pick Vic Capri, will be on this show.
Okay.
How about
All
that
right.
for Star Power?
All right. You got one right.
Do I get a seal of approval there?
For November, all right, you're 1 for 1. All right, you're 1 for 1. So you're batting 500.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I thought we had a home run tonight too.
No.
If anybody watch this show
No.
isn't gonna want to go to Joliet to see what the hell is gonna happen, then I don't know what we need to do about it, because there's a lot of plates spinning in at St. Joe's Park on December 2nd. Want to thank the Idols, even though they suck.
They do.
I want to thank PX for being a professional tonight. I appreciate you being part of the solution, not the problem. So thank you for that. I know it was difficult.
I did my best. I hope, I had a lot more that I wanted to say, but, I respect you, Steve, and I love you. And I want to make sure that, like, even though there were points where that little bit of that anger bubbled out, I just hope that I did what you
did
me
everything
to
right
do.
tonight, PX. You were great. C-Red fucked everything up by coming in like Meatloaf at a bat out of hell. Sirens were screaming and the fires were howling way down in the valley tonight. Thanks to Rion for his observations and his pictures. He always does great work. And the Urban Sensation, thanks for coming in and blowing shit up that I thought I had on lockdown. When Red hit the door, things went to hell in a handcart.
Hey, why do you think when you see me, you see red?
See Red. All right. Thanks for watching the Power Hour this week. We are out next week. Shelly Benson, Vic Capri on this show. Have a great night, and we will see you when we see you. We'll catch you on the flip side. Good night, everybody.